Tommy, how does that rate in all the wins that you've had?
Well, it definitely has to be at the top of the list. I mean, it was incredible last night, and it's probably the loudest I've ever heard the Oval as well. So, it was a special night, but we've got one more to go, hopefully.
Did you manage to get much sleep?
Not much last night. No, you never usually sleep too well after a game, but last night, probably had the extra hour up as well. So it was, quite a thrill the night, and I'm sure the boys are waking up pretty happy this morning.
When will you reflect on how good last night was, mate? Or do you think it's just as soon as today hits, let's focus on what's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, you got to enjoy it. Obviously, they're extremely difficult to win prelim finals, but I'm sure we won't reflect too much about it unless we go on with it. So the guys are, take a couple of days to recover and refresh and lick their wounds, but then we'll move on pretty quickly and enjoy the week for what it is. No one's obviously been able to. This group, no one's been able to play in a grand final before, so everyone's pretty excited and looking forward to what lies ahead.
Do you think that can work to your advantage, having not played one?
I don't think the other two teams have either, so it's it is what it is. We'll enjoy the week and take it from there.
That start last night, Lynch, it must show that whatever the club did during that 15-day break and the Gold Coast trip must have obviously worked, pulled the right rein there.
Obviously the club's been, the coaches and the PPT staff have been enormous all year preparing us for games that, to the best of their ability and getting the guys in a good space for that. But, we had to go out there and do the job last night. It's important. We had a number of players stand up, especially as you said with that start, which has been important for us and a focus for the majority of the year. So, it was pleasing. I know when Eddie and Charlie kicked the first 2 goals of the game, the noise at the ground was unbelievable. So it certainly, sparked us to play the footy we did, I'm sure, but it was important we got off to a good start.
At what point did you realise that you had the game in the bag?
Never really felt comfortable. When they came back at us in the second quarter, I definitely was on edge a little bit. Yeah, it was probably more relief at the end of the game, or even halfway through that last quarter, when we sort of felt like we were on top. But once you're out there, I know it sounds silly when probably saw how much we were up by, but you never really feel comfortable because you don't want to let those ones slip.
You talk about the noise.
Yeah.
The final siren, the grandstand was shaking. Said a couple of radio commentators, and we felt it as well. Like the noise was going mental.
We're going to fall over. Well, the ground was shaking.
The top of the grandstand was, you could feel it shaking. What was the noise like out?
Yeah, it was electric. It was unbelievable. We're so lucky that we get to play in front of 50,000 or a near capacity every single week at the O with our fans, and that definitely was a good experience for the boys, obviously, and being able to do that every week. But last night it was louder than I've ever heard it. As I said, when the first 2 goals were kicked at the start of the game, the fans got their tails up as well, and they certainly sparked us on for a good win.
Is it hard to not get caught up in that hype now, to focus on the win?
It's a tough one. I mean, you want to embrace, playing in a grand final, and the hype of what what we've done and what we've got still to do. But at the same time, we've got to go out there and win a game of footy still. So, the group is very well. We feel like we've matured over the last few years, and we feel like the boys will best prepare and they'll be ready to go come next Saturday. But at the same time, if you try to shy away from what lies ahead this week, you might get found out. So it's going to be important to embrace the week for what it is, enjoy it, but at the same time, we'll be ready to go come Saturday.
Is it a disadvantage the fact that you guys only play at the MCG a couple of times a year?
I wouldn't have thought there's anything which will come into any factors will come into a grand final day. I think everyone will be, it'd be a fierce contest. I know that for sure, and it'd be anyone's game.
When you play on the ground though, like in terms of it's a lot wider than Adelaide Oval.
Not by much though. And it's at the end of the day, it's 4 goalposts at each end, and we feel like the brand we play and the footy we play stands up in finals that we've shown so far. So hopefully we can do that again.
Slowing his hit on Dangerfield.
What was that, sorry?
Talk us through the slowing his hit on Dangerfield. It was just there's an iconic photo now, a couple of photos of Dangerfield on his backside. The crowd went nuts. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was 2 fierce competitors. Those two. I mean, gee, that was. For both of them to get up was quite incredible. Rory's obviously a freak, but that was a important contest for the night. you know, for what he's been through the last few weeks, especially, and then to have a moment like that, obviously it's quite iconic, as you said. But you know, they're both two incredible players, and you know, we've got a lot of respect for Paddy and you know what he's done.
And credit to him how he handled that as well.
What did you make of the crowd booing Patrick Dangerfield after that, though?
Didn't read too much into it. You know, we respect him incredibly highly, and you know, I'm sure the fans do as well. He obviously was a great servant of our club. You know, there was a lot of emotion in last night's game as well. So, you know, we did what we had to do and get the result. But yeah, there's not much more we can say about that.
Credit to how he handled after the game as well.
Who, Danger? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were incredibly gracious in defeat. I'm sure it would be an incredible feeling, or you know, to lose last night. So I remember losing the final last year, how disappointing it was, and it wasn't even a prelim. So you know, they were incredibly gracious, and to Andrew Mackey and Tom Lonigan, two outstanding players that a lot of our players and myself looked up to for a number of years. Going out last night was. I'm glad we respected them after the game.
The MRP works in mysterious ways. Is there any nervousness about that clash?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, mate. They both went for the ball, and you know, they both just ran into each other.
Tom, in the washout, what did you say as in, this was really good tonight, and this might, we need to sharpen up a little bit here?
Yeah, there's always things you need to improve on. But over the entirety of the 120 minutes, I felt we did a lot right. It's going to come down to, you know, if we can back that up and do that again next week. You know, we're going to have to play 4 quarters of footy again, because you know, it's just going to be incredibly difficult game, because you know, whoever we play, it's going to be on, and you know, the prize that's on the end of it will certainly will a number of guys to, you know, probably feelings and you know, things they haven't even experienced in a game. So we're looking forward to it though. But yeah, no, we'll definitely review the game like any other, and hopefully take a few things out of it.
How do those emotions change when you know it's a grand final and you don't get to this stage? Well, you haven't in 19 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's you probably look at your own career and as a group, like the boys have been building for a while now. You know, no one was playing 12 years ago, so. You know, we're excited about the opportunity. This is a whole new group, building our own new history, and you know, hopefully we can you know, keep that going. But yeah, no, we're got to be excited. I mean, we're in a grand final. Well, it won't sink in obviously until the two teams play today and we work out who our opponent is. But I'm sure the boys will be watching with interest, obviously, and you know, we'll see from there.
Who would you prefer to be playing?
It doesn't really faze us. I mean. You know, the two teams are obviously great teams. Both teams have had great years, and you know, whoever comes out next weekend will, as I said, with the prizes on the end of it, you know, they'll be fighting as hard as we are.
Yeah, like speed made. So where you can watch that and you'll be all together, or just watch it separately?
A lot's been made of the journey that this group's been on. Will you spend much of this week reflecting on that in the lead up to the grand final?
No, we'll be focusing on the grand final. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, as I said, there's enough distractions already for this week and with the build-up, but you know, we'll try and make the week as normal as possible, but being realistic that it's obviously not a normal week, and you know, but we'll try and prepare like we have all year, because we know that when we do that and we train well, usually that you know, goes well for us in a game.
So on the week, and the fact that none of you played in an AFL grand final, who do you talk to within the club, or sort of whose brains do you pick about what lies ahead, and you know, how to cope and what to expect?
Yeah, everyone's different. Everyone will deal with it differently. I'm sure some guys will, you know, seek out others, and you know, we've got a number of our coaching staff who have, you know, been through, you know, grand final weeks. You know, Pikey especially, but you know, Scott Camporelli, Ron O'Keefe, you know, James Podsdale. These guys have been. You know, to the big dance. So I'm sure some guys will pick their brains, but at the same time, I mean, everyone's different. Some people will enjoy it or will absorb the week more than others, and some people, you know, will just focus on the game. So whatever that may be, we'll come together once we do get to Melbourne, and you know, we'll be ready to go.
How important is it to have those? How important is it to have those coaches that have been there, and played at the highest level, and guys you can just sort of draw on with that experience?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm sure they will. And as I said, everyone will deal with it differently, but at the same time, I'm sure we'll lean on them if anyone's got any questions, because they've got that experience. It's handy to have, but you know, that you don't win grand finals just by on the day. It's the whole year, the whole journey. So they've been pivotal all year, and especially the last few years. So we've built the brand to get it to this point. So you don't just fall into grannies.
Lynch, we saw Eddie in tears on the ground afterwards. Can you just talk us through, what was it like to see him so emotional, and what was it like in the rooms afterwards?
Yeah, I didn't say that, but obviously, yes. As I said, some guy, it was probably an emotional time for him, and some others were very. It was an emotional night, as I said. It was, we had a great support there. The guys have never been to granny, so some guys will deal with that differently. But hopefully he's got the same emotions next weekend, and if we can win it all.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.